Hi, I'm Levi. I'm with Gaiety and at Pride on Instagram. I am so excited to be here. You have no idea.
Oh my gosh, I am really excited to be talking to you. I love you.
Okay, so in terms of like Drag Race, I watched, got a
I'm sorry
sound
the
thing.
chicken's done. I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
It's,
That's
I'm
someone get the chicken. If someone could,
somebody get the chicken now.
is it fried or grilled? That's an important
It's in the
question.
oven. It's in one of those air
Ooh, like,
fryers.
oh, I love that.
hmm
They make you chicken for your interviews?
Well, I'm actually making chicken for the whole cast and crew because, I am a feeder. Not only am I Queen of Hearts, finding love for other people, but I love to feed people.
So you're like, here's some chicken. Where are you, by the way?
I am actually in New York City.
Okay, so this is like afternoon chicken. Got it.
It's afternoon chicken. It's you know, some might say it was $1 million chicken.
I love this. I kind of wish I was there to have some chicken. Anyway,
Where are you right now?
so to talk a little bit, I'm actually in Arizona, so it is hotter. It's very hot. It's toasty, spicy, if you will.
Oh my gosh, Arizona.
I'm normally in Los Angeles, but at the moment I am in Arizona. So
Wow.
I
I
know.
I hear it's nice there. I think the sky's really blue and cloudy, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That's a good, yeah, try to stay positive. Um, so I actually knew about your podcast about 2 weeks ago because we did a feed drop in the Pride podcast for your podcast.
Oh
And then
my
when
gosh,
Ryan reached
thank
out,
you.
absolutely, I was so excited. And I think I listened to 3 of the episodes that I had, and I have a bunch of questions for you.
hmm
One, how important was it or is it to you to be very inclusive of all sorts of relationships? Because I love that in an episode I actually listened to today, it's a same-sex relationship, but you never really talk about labels. It's just dating. So I'm curious
Just
how
dating.
important it was to you to just be so inclusive that you don't need a label.
Yeah, I think it's so important to share every human's story about love. We all have this journey where we're looking for, the perfect relationship, and it 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 comes to every different type of person. There's not just one way to love, and I think that's what makes Queen of Hearts so special because it's about body positivity, sex positivity. There's no stigmas anymore because it's a safe space. And I believe that when people sit down on Queen of Hearts and they talk to me, they feel so comfortable in revealing um, the most personal things about themselves. I don't know what it is. It's magic.
Okay, well, how do they feel when they have connections, right? And they're chit chatting, they go through some
hmm
games, getting to know people. And then at the end, I mean, I don't think this is a spoiler. At the end, JuJubee gets to make like the final call. So this person, they could be totally into each other. And then you're like,
Yeah.
nope, out, next, back to the
Yeah.
apps.
Yeah, I honestly, the final decision of me paying for a date is pretty cool, but the chemistry that I feel between these daters is really important. Sometimes I think it's going to be great for them, but then when they go to the last part where they get to spend, 7 minutes together, when they come back, it could be a completely different vibe because you never know. Because with me, they're guiding them. They have somebody to kind of help them out, but when they're alone, maybe there's more chemistry there that I didn't even see. And when they report back to me, that's when I make the decision. And
Do
I'm
you,
like kind of cheap, so I'm not going to pay for everybody's date.
the one I listened to today, I really liked because you were like, I'm not feeling it. Don't care if you are. Back to the apps. So
Yeah, and
that was the
I don't
vibe.
feel so bad. Cuz
You're like,
dating's a drag, babe.
absolutely. So have you, as I think you've done, is it 10 or 12 episodes already?
It's 10.
10. So as you
Season
did
1 is
those,
in Los Angeles.
I will have a couple questions about one where they get to go on these dates. But the first one I have is, has there been anyone that you've had on that even when you first heard their voice, you pictured someone completely different than who ends up on the other end of the microphone?
Oh my gosh. Actually, there is a gentleman who has a very deep, seductive voice. And when I saw him pop up on screen, I didn't imagine that that's what he would look like. And I think it's pretty cool. He was very attractive. It just wasn't the face that I would put to the voice. He was very charming. He definitely had that really nice, deep tone that would make anybody drop their panties.
Do you feel like that this experience changed your perspective at all on how we perceive people. This is
Mhm.
like that. I mean, it's kind of like your first impression, right? Do
Yeah.
you feel like that this experience for yourself as kind of like the third party in their relationships, right? That it changed your perspective on how we perceive other people, even initially, and then how those perceptions change?
Oh, absolutely. These contestants come in having an idea of what they want. And then when they're presented with just a voice and a personality, things just open up and there's no wall. They kind of let go of whatever they wanted and they're just talking from human to human. And I think that is one of the coolest things about Queen of Hearts because they really do get to just hear the other person's voice and how they speak and what they're saying. And if you listen carefully, you know what the intentions are. And I'm just there to kind of judge them, which I do anyway. But this time, it's my job.
It's official judging.
Yeah, it's official judging, so it's a higher standard to judging.
Yeah. Yeah. Have there been anyone that you could tell that they were really disappointed when the Queen of Hearts ultimately is like, see ya?
You know what? Actually, I I haven't found that. What I have found was that people who are told to go back to the apps by the contestant, they they're like, all right, this was so fun. Thank you so much for your time. It's a little bit more generous. And I believe that in this form, it's because we're so comfortable together. Everybody's at home in their safe space. And we just come and have a human adult conversation. And it's not all serious, but there's really like nice, heartwarming moments. And then there's fun moments. We play a lot of games and that kind of opens them up.
I actually really loved that structure part of your podcast is the games and kind of how it progresses. And it isn't just like this conversation for 30 minutes, then you pick someone. It really is well-rounded in this great way. And I love that it's kind of a multimedia format. How did you come up with this idea? Because it's very unique, or collaborate to come up with this idea. It's very
Mhm.
unique in that it is an audio first dating show, which is so cool.
It's so cool. I dare I say this is groundbreaking. How many doors am I opening up? I feel like a billion doors are being opened. But yeah, it's cool because it's a blind dating podcast and they they have no idea what's going to go on. I help them. We play these games that sound really silly, but it really does allow the person to share their personality. Um, you'll y- I don't know if this is surprising anymore, but people are so open when they speak to me. They'd probably give me their social security number or their Amazon Prime account, which is very valuable, by the way.
I was going to say that could be more lucrative than podcasting.
Yeah.
You never know that you can get anything on Amazon these days.
Yes, you can.
So where do you see the, I guess you'd say, the kind of trajectory after being on the show going? Obviously, it goes to an in-person date. Do you think that some of these matches have potential to be long-lasting relationships beyond like an in-person blind date?
Oh, I don't think I know. I know, and I'll give you an example. I celebrated an event in LA recently, and as I was performing, I look out into the audience and I see a couple that I set up holding hands with their cocktail, and I asked them what they were doing there, and they said, "Well, remember, you sent us on a date. This is our date." So I actually saw it in real life, and it warmed my heart because I could see the twinkle, in the eyes, and one of them emailed and said, "Thank you so much for helping me find my boo."
That is so, I mean,
It's
I feel like that's,
sweet.
yeah, absolutely. And maybe it's because, I think a lot of the dating shows that are referenced in like the press release that comes with your podcast to media, some of them were, I would say, more like, I don't want to say mean, but kind of like dating shows can
Mm.
be kind of mean. And I didn't get
Hmm.
that vibe at all from yours.
Oh no, like I said, I bring good juju, and we're just here to have a great time and be loving and kind because, babe, the world is so full of things that we don't need. Queen of Hearts brings light, fun, happiness, and every single kind of love, which is so important.
So when you guys started to create the show, did you reach out to your audience? How did you choose these people to come on the show?
I work with some amazing people. Rococo Punch worked with me, Amazon and Wondery Plus, and we got together people who are just in need of love, especially in Los Angeles, because dating is a drag already, but in LA specifically, the common thread was every single one of them have had the worst time dating. So in this form, they felt most comfortable just kind of spilling the tea. And you'd be surprised how many of them actually get dressed up. Like, you never get to see them, but they show up on this date like fully dressed. Sometimes they even have sweet backgrounds.
That is so, I mean, that's so funny. And it's so they kind of like bring their A game to this virtual blind
Oh,
first date.
absolutely. I mean, you brought lighting. Some of like a lot of them did too, right? And
Yeah.
it's pretty cool because you know somebody's serious. They're not backlit. It's all here, and they're ready for love.
So when you are sitting down to do the podcast, do you feel like being in drag is you coming in your A game, or was there any thought of like I could do it out of drag?
Oh, I could always do both. You know, it's drag is an extension of myself, but I find that being in drag doing this podcast with them, it takes away whatever nerves that they have, and they just see me there guiding. And drag queens have a way about them. We're just
Very
magic.
like a guiding feeling.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Like
It's me, JuJubee.
protect me, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
will.
I could totally see that. So I only have a few minutes left with you, and I'm really curious, just kind of like on personal reflection,
Mhm.
what do you feel like makes you, I don't want to say qualified because that's not the right term, but I'm going to use it. But what makes you qualified to give people one relationship advice, but to also play matchmaker? Is there anything in your life you feel like gave you experience in that?
Okay, I have always been a matchmaker for a lot of my friends. I've always been somebody who's been able to feel other people's energies and other people's connections. And I will give free advice. This time, my free advice I get paid for.
I think that's the best part, right? When your free advice is paid free advice, that's always great. So, is there anything that you hope your listeners take from this beyond the entertainment value? Is there
Mhm.
any message that you hope or learning that you think people can get from it?
I just think that if somebody feels like there's nobody out there for them, they need to know that there is. And it all comes from within. You know, self love is the most important thing. And for me, I find that when the contestants come in and they are holding themselves with grace and love, that's going to be the first connection that you need to find somebody who is meant for you. So I want the listener to just show up and have a great time. We're going to giggle a lot and to just know that love is real. And on Queen
I
of
think
Hearts,
that's,
love is just a game.
oh my gosh, such a solid, you're really good at this. That was a solid plug there. I
Thank
think
you.
that's a great message. And that's honestly the message that I got from it. I did love that. There's like an element of loving yourself in
Yeah.
loving. Yeah. So I really love that. Well, I really hope that your chicken turned out great for the crew. I'm sure it did.
Oh, it
And
smells so good in here.
I wish I could smell it, but I'm just going to take your word for it and be like, it probably does. Yeah. It's nice roasted chicken. And I cannot wait for listeners to binge all of your episodes. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today.
Thank
And
you.
I wish you the happiest Pride Month, and I love your podcast
Thank you. It's out every Tuesday.
everywhere.
Everywhere, every Tuesday. Listen to Queen of Hearts right now.
Love it. Thank you so, so much. Thank you, everyone, for your help.